Hi, my name is Madison Brown, and I am a junior at Texas A&M, and I'm a sociology major.
Hi, my name is Rachel Delaney, and I'm a junior economics major.
Hi, my name is Mia Still, and I'm a sophomore majoring in English and International Studies.
Hi, my name is Eve. I'm a sophomore sociology major.
Hello, my name is Brianna Villarreal, and I am a senior and majoring in anthropology. And today, me and my group will be discussing the reality of Barnard 68. My group members are Eve Rosenfield, Mia Still, Rachel Delaney, Madison Brown. And today I will be giving a quick overview of the discussion that we'll be having today. So what our main focus for the discussion is the misinformation about Barnard 68, also known as B68, and space in general. More specifically, why the spread of misinformation is extremely harmful, and how relaying factual information about the Barnard 68 in order to clarify these false claims and helps further educate an audience about the true nature of Barnard 68 and space in general.
I'm going to be talking about misinformation. So what is misinformation? First of all, misinformation is the spread of inaccurate or even totally false information. It's harmful because it can promote the spread of panic and confusion. And then there's also a term called disinformation, which is basically the same thing as misinformation. However, it is the purposeful spread of false information rather than more of an accidental spread of incorrect things. In today's society, many of us tend to ignore the sort of benefits of fact-checking what we see on social media. So the effects caused by misinformation are much greater than they might be if we did fact-check more. And this greatly applies to outer space because a lot of us know little to nothing about it. So it's a lot easier to be falsely led by misinformation. When it comes to outer space, there is a great amount of uncertainty and an infinitely higher amount of it in relation to the general population versus someone who may be an expert in astronomy. This uncertainty is often fueled by things like conspiracy theories, for example, about aliens and UFOs, or the Earth being flat, or even the moon landing being faked. These conspiracy theories also create an almost fantastical view of space and space exploration, which then may enable certain audiences to both believe and spread misinformation about space. In addition to these conspiracies, many people don't know a lot about space other than the names of planets and stars within our galaxy. So the average individual might often trust more confident sources who spread false information simply as a lack of their own knowledge, and they believe that that source knows a lot about it. For example, someone could probably post a tweet claiming that the biggest known asteroid is going to hit the sun, causing it to explode in the next 500 years, and that tweet could probably convince a good number of people without even providing sources. So in this presentation, what we'll be discussing has to do with a certain molecular cloud, Barnard 68, and how a tweet about it caused a panic amongst the people who came across it and didn't know any better.
On their Twitter account, which is currently banned, likely as a result of their frequent posts including misinformation, @ScienceNature14 states, "There's an empty void in space so big that if you traveled across it, you wouldn't bump into anything for 752,536,988 years. They also claimed that this statement came directly from NASA. It was used in tandem with the image that you see on the screen. This statement is actually completely false, and that has the potential to confuse and undermine a great deal of other scientifically proven information to an unassuming audience." The image used in the post by Science Nature 14 says, 6 to 10 billion light years away, there's a void in space 1 billion light years across. It is completely empty of both normal matter and dark matter. It emits no detectable radiation or light of any kind. This image and statement is completely false.
In the following 2 videos, we will be watching 2 of our close friends blindly react to the posts made by Science Nation 14.
I'm blindly reacting. 6 to 10 billion light years away, there is a void in space 1 billion light years across. It's completely empty of both normal matter and dark matter. It emits no detectable radiation of any kind. That kind of makes me worried because, like, what's going to happen if we reach it? Is that how that works? I'm not really intelligent when it comes to space. There's a void in space 1 billion light years across. Is that big? I feel like I'm not the right person to react to this. Like, my brain can't. Both normal, empty, both empty. Wait, what? Empty of both normal matter and dark matter. Kind of scary because there's a lot of mystery, but that's all my brain can think up at the moment.
Hi, I'm Kayla. I'm gonna blind react to this photo right now. 6 to 10 billion light years away, there is a void in space 1 billion light years across. It is completely empty of both normal matter and dark matter. It emits no detectable radiation or light of any kind. Okay, how did they even find that, first of all? Sorry, I know nothing about that space. What does that mean? It emits... So, it's just a void. I mean, it says that there's a void in space. I don't understand. It's completely empty of both normal matter and dark matter. Okay. So what does this mean for us? Honestly, I'm really confused because I don't really get what this means for us. Like, okay, there's a void. Like, how does that affect our universe? Like, we found that there's literally nothing. Like, there's an absence of something. So that means, I don't know, this is kind of existential. Like, there's nothing there. So, like, does it lead to anywhere? Is it a hole in our universe to where, like, maybe it was the starting point of something where that means that we had to have come from somewhere, something had to have been made, because it doesn't have normal matter or dark matter, and it has no detectable radiation or light of any kind. So the absence of something must mean something. Like, this must be some form of scientific breakthrough or something.
As stated in the prior 2 videos, the predominant emotion that both of our blind reactors left with was confusion, or generally feeling as though they didn't really understand what was happening or didn't really get a comprehensive overview of why they were being given these facts or anything of that nature. A lot of this trepidation and confusion came down to some of the rhetoric used within the post. So these are some of the key words that we found in the tweet that we thought might inevitably cause some form of confusion when reading it. So beginning with the idea of the empty void in space, it can already be a relatively daunting concept to imagine, as oftentimes people will think of black holes or panic, kind of wondering what implications this void has for the Earth and their own safety. And so that was one of the initial things that we pulled out as far as why this post might lead to panic or confusion. The next thing that we found might cause confusion or worry was the use of the specific number, 752,500,000 536,988 years, because using inconceivably large numbers like this kind of contributes to the fear of the unknown and becomes a really daunting figure when you're reading about information about space, which is already such an unknown subject for so many people. The third thing that we found that we thought was relatively misleading was the decision to cite NASA at the end of the statement. It just kind of ends up creating an air of credibility through, as they use like a widely known source, and leaves a lot of people more susceptible to believing a tweet as a result of the credibility that foundations and organizations such as NASA have built up over the years. And one of the final things that we found ultimately within this post that we felt might mislead the reader emotionally or intellectually was the decision to use rhetoric like the words you. Using the word you or that type of rhetoric kind of draws the reader into the information and forces the audience into this hypothetical situation where they themselves are in danger of facing countless years of loneliness in complete darkness in an unknown environment and being subjected to that at a point at which they don't know, and it all just becomes very daunting and forces the reader to feel as though they're going to or inevitably will be in this situation of having to travel across a empty void for billions of years.
What really is Barnard 68? B68 is a molecule cloud, an interstellar cloud consisting of gas and dust, in which molecules from primarily hydrogen molecules. B68 can be referred to as a void. Scientifically speaking, it is one. However, we must remember that this falls under misinformation when used irresponsibly. In fact, stars are only formed from molecule clouds. They are located primarily in the disk of the spiral galaxy and the active regions of the irregular galaxies, meaning they are more in common and more normal than the tweet might lead one to believe. What is special about B68? With the new inferred image of B68, scientists are beginning to wonder if new stars are beginning to form in the molecule cloud. According to the European Southern Observatory, B68 is now in the very early phase of collapse, on its way towards stars formation. Because this stage is very short compared to life of bottom of the molecules, cloud and a star, it is special that scientists have been able to capture a photo like this.